Good morning, students. Let us continue with our topic linear equations in two variable, and we are going to study today determinants. What exactly is determinants? How to find the value of determinants, and finally we are going to learn how to solve given linear equations in two variable using Cramer's rule. Let's start. First, we start with determinants. Now, what exactly is determinants? Determinants is nothing but it is arrangement of numbers in rows and columns between the two vertical lines. So basically, an arrangement of numbers in the format of 2 into 2 between the vertical line is called as a determinant. Now, after understanding what is determinant, let us understand how to calculate a value for any given determinant. Suppose we have arranged four numbers A, B, C, D in rows and columns. Let's find the value. So how to do it? Just cross multiply. So what I will get, the first cross multiplication is A multiplied by D, and the second cross multiplication is B multiplied by C. Okay, subtract both the cross multiplied values. That is, we get something like this: AD minus BC. So this is how we are going to calculate the value of any determinants. So students, let's start with problems based on finding the values of determinants. Okay students, so let's try and understand over here. Let's start with practice set 1.3. okay, three, 4, 2, 5. We are discussing the first problem, and let us see how we can find the value for this determinant. So as you know students, cross multiply first. So this is 3 multiplied by 5, and then again cross multiply the numbers. This is 2 multiplied by 4 and subtract them. Correct? So now 3 5s are 15 minus 2 4s are 8. So 15 minus 8 is 7. So this is how we are going to find the value of determinant. Let's take one more example about this. In question number 2, I am taking third sum. See the determinant. It is 7 upon 3, 5 upon 3, 3 upon 2, 1 upon 2. These are the determinants. Again, same concept students, cross multiply. So I'm going to multiply them. 7 upon 3 into 1 upon 2 minus 5 upon 3 into 3 upon 2. Correct? Now we will multiply over here. 7 ones are 7, 3 twos are 6. Similarly over here, 5 threes are 15, 3 twos are 6. Now we can see that students, denominator is same, so we are going to take common. So 7 minus 15. So 7 minus 15, we know students, it is like 15 minus 7. So the answer is 8, but sign of the greater number. So that will become minus 8 upon 6. Also students, we notice that 8 and 6, they are divisible by 2. So this is like 2 4s are 2. So the final answer is 4 upon 3. So students, this is how we can find the value of determinants. Okay students, so this is our first part for today. Let us continue further, and now in our next part in our next part we will learn about Cramer's rule. Now this is the second way of solving linear equations in two variables, that is Cramer's rule. Now in Cramer's rule, suppose considering that our equation is in x and y, I'm assuming, let's take our first equation, that suppose the two equations are in x and y. So in Cramer's rule we are supposed to find three determinants, and the three determinants is d, dx and dy. Correct, students? So here in Cramer's rule, the point is important. First of all, we should learn how to form these determinants d, dx and dy. So for that, let us take the example question number 2. Okay, sub question 1, based on Cramer's rule, 3x minus 4y is equal to 10. Equation number 1. 4x plus 3y equals to 5. Equation number 2. Right, students? So for this equation we are going to find the value of x and y using Cramer's rule. So in the first step in Cramer's rule is form three determinants, that is form d, dx and dy, and hence find the value of each determinant. Now how to do it, students? Here we will follow one particular rule, that is XCY rule. Now what exactly is XCY rule? Here x, I will say that it corresponds to determinants dx. C, when I talk about C means the constant term, corresponds to determinants d, and y means dy. So here when I talk about x means I talk about coefficient of x, and when you talk about y we talk about coefficient of y. Now how to apply this rule to find these three determinants? Suppose first I want to frame the determinant d. Okay, suppose I want to frame the determinant d. Now how to frame this determinant d? Let's try and understand over here. I'm drawing two vertical lines over here. Since we want to frame the determinant d, just hide this. If I hide this, what is left? X and y. So what am I going to write? Coefficient of x and coefficient of y. So over here 3, 4, minus 4, 3. So very simple, students. Let's find the value of the determinant. We know how to do it. Cross multiply, 3 multiply by 3, minus, here also multiply, 4 multiply by minus 4. So that is 9 minus 4 4s are 16, but there is a sign of minus. We know now, students, minus minus is plus. So 9 plus 16 is 25. So this is how you will get the first determinant, that is d. Now let's frame the next determinant. Our next determinant in this case is dx. Now how to frame the determinant dx? So dx, so hide this part. So if I hide this part, what is left now? Constant and y. Okay, students, constant and y. So constants mean these are our constant, the plain numbers are constant. So I'm going to write 10, 5. Okay, and what I told you, constant and y. So I'm going to write the coefficient of y. So minus 4 and 3. Let's do cross multiplication again over here now. 10 multiply by 3 minus 4 into 5. So this is like 30. We know again, students, minus into minus is plus. 5 4s are 20. So 30 plus 20 is 50. Is it clear, students? Similarly, students, we will frame one more determinant which is left, dy. Now again the pattern is very simple, students. Since we want to frame the determinant dy, hide this out. So if you hide this out, what is left? X and c. So I'm going to write first x. X is 3, 4. And c, that is 10, 5. Let's find the value of this determinant now. 3 multiplied by 5 minus 10 multiplied by 4. Correct? So this is like 15 minus 40. Correct, students? So if I calculate over here, 15 minus 40 will give us minus 25. So we completed our first step in Cramer's rule. The first step is formation of 3 determinants, and for that we have made use of this rule, that is XCY rule. You just have to follow. X corresponds to dx, c corresponds to d, and y corresponds to dy, and then you are going to simply hide. If you are finding dx, hide this part. If you are finding d, hide this part and write whatever is left, and if I am finding dy, hide this part and write whatever is left. Now after we get the 3 determinants, that is d, dx and dy, let's apply Cramer's rule. Now what exactly is a Cramer's rule? Now this rule will help us to find the value of x and y. So how we can find x? So there is a formula for x. X is dx upon d. Okay, students? So dx upon d, dx we know it's 50 and d it's 25. So 25 ones are 25 twos are. So we got the value for x as 2. Similarly, we will find the value for y. Y is dy upon d. dy is minus 25 upon 25. This will get cancelled. Minus 1. Now students, a statement will come at the end. So the statement will be x equal to 2 and y is equal to minus 1 is the solution of given simultaneous equation using Cramer's rule. So students, this is how you are going to solve problems based on Cramer's rule. So I just quickly recap. You need to frame 3 determinants, dx, d and dy. Follow this pattern, XCY rule. Now suppose students, there is a question you will ask me, sir, what if the variables are not x and y? Let's take the variable can be, let's say mn. C will always be there, so the alphabetical order for this will be what? M, C, N. So for m, the determinant I can write this as dm. For c, the determinant will be d, and for n, dn. And again follow this pattern. If I am forming dm, hide this. If I am forming d, hide this. And if I am forming dn, hide this. So this is how we are going to solve the problems based on Cramer's rule, students. So your homework is, you are going to solve the entire practice set 1.3, that is problems based on finding the value of determinants and Cramer's rule. So students, till then, bye, take care and stay safe at home. Thank you.